Are we ready? Hey, this makes me so uncomfortable. I can't even begin to tell you how uncomfortable this makes me. Okay, I'm gonna talk to you, is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I thought that's why
Okay,
it's here.
are you
don't
ready?
just
Are
talk
you
to the
recording
camera.
already?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, you ready? How you
Yeah.
feeling?
Sore.
Sore? All right. Okay, I want you to go ahead and lay on your back. Neck feels okay? Comfortable? Okay, so we're gonna start out on our backs with our knees bent and feet flat to the floor. Now, depending on how your low back feels, you can choose, and sometimes this doesn't work for everybody, but you can choose to take your feet a little bit wider and tent your knees together. If it doesn't give you relief right away on your low back, it's not going to give you relief, so you can take your knees back to wherever it feels comfortable. So feel free to take it wherever it feels comfortable. And then I want you to just place your hands on your low belly. And we're going to keep with breathing just through our nose. A lot of times I'll have you breathe in and out with your nose and your mouth, but tonight we're just going to focus on inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So I want you to take just a decent breath. It doesn't have to be a big, huge, full body breath, but just a nice, even inhale, and then gently exhale all the way out. And the reason I'm going to have your hands on your belly is it's a point of focus. As you inhale, I want you to breathe where your hands are touching. And then as you exhale, I want you to just feel those hands gently drop down toward your spine. And we're just going to continue with that for a few more moments. And as you breathe, maybe slowly begin to deepen your breath. Slowly begin to slow down that exhale. And start to transition from your day, from all of the chaos and craziness that we've been feeling. And give ourselves these next 60 minutes to just be. To breathe on your mat, to be one with your practice. Allow the outside world to stay outside, and let's focus on the inside world. Good, that looks really good. Beautiful. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Finding that expansion in the belly, the lungs, and the chest, and maybe even the throat, and exhaling all the way out. And last one, big breath in. Beautiful, gorgeous expansion, belly, ribs, chest, and exhaling all the way out. As you exhale, go ahead and slowly begin to release your knees over to one side, gently windshield wipering. Good, go nice and easy. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, take it to the left. Okay, a couple options with the windshield wipering. Your feet can be together if that feels best for your legs and your knees and your back. Or try to take them wide for a moment and windshield wiper and see how that feels. You choose which one feels better for you and practice that. Careful with the knees, watching for alignment, being cautious of the movement of your hips and your ankles. Are you recording? Yeah, I know you are. Don't edit that out. Those are funny. They're like those outtakes. Intakes, outtakes. In and out. Breathe in and out. Couple more. Let's go one more time, actually. Let's just go all the way over to the left, or whatever side you're on, right or left, it doesn't matter. And then bring it back to center. And then let's go back to our breathing. So for now, instead of bringing your hands to your belly, I'd like you to take your hands right onto the sides of your ribs. Good, and then our focal point is now going to be breathing into the ribs, finding expansion in the lungs. So as you inhale, I want you to try to breathe out into your hands. So as you inhale, I want you to see if you can get your hands to expand out. Yeah, and then exhale, slowly release. Not as easy, huh? A little challenging. Yeah, so see how, I don't know if you can see, but the hands are expanding out, and as he exhales, they come back into each other. Okay, inhale, expand out. Yeah, it's getting better, making more space. Good. Exhale, bring them back together. My girlfriend was talking the other day about breathing in and out through the nose, and she said something I liked. The nose is a really good filter for our body. It's got a lot of things to help filter the air. Our mouth is for chewing and talking, not breathing. That's her take. I like to breathe out through my mouth a lot of times, but especially in this time right now, it may be best to really focus on inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And then one more time. Good. Exhale out. And again, one more time, let's go ahead and gently windshield wiper your knees to one side. And windshield wiper them to the other. Good. Let's go one more time to each side, to the right. Good. Thinking about feeling that movement in your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips, your low back, all the way up into those ribs. Good. Sorry, I'm in your way. And then gently bring it back to center. Okay, take a big deep breath in. Then as you exhale, I want you to pull your right knee up into your chest. And instead of worrying about how hard you're pulling your knee in or squeezing it in, let it be a little bit softer, have a little bit less tension in your hip flexor, and just work on circling through your ankle. Moving that ankle around one way. Finding some space in our joints. We're going to take it really easy tonight. Keep it really simple, or today, whenever you're watching this. But hopefully by the end, you will feel like you've made some space and you have had some movement and your body just feels a little bit better than it did when you started this practice. And then go ahead and circle the other way. I don't know if I want to be this close to your feet.
I wouldn't. Isn't it 6 feet?
Yeah, 6 feet. I don't think that applies to married couples. All right, go ahead and gently place that right foot to the floor and draw your left knee in. And same thing, go ahead and just circle that left ankle around. Make sure you're comfortable here. You don't have to have an intense hold. And I want you to try to relax those shoulders just a little bit more. Good, let them be a little softer. Best you can.
Not actually, except
Best you can.
Like we're soft before.
Best you can. And breathe. Make sure you're inhaling and exhaling. Doesn't have to be deep, wide breaths, but just nice, easy inhale and exhale. Good. Go ahead and roll the other way with that ankle. Beautiful. And then gently go ahead and release that left foot to the floor. Take a big breath in. Then as you exhale, let's go ahead and draw that right knee up into your chest again. But this time, I want you to take it just off of your rib cage a little bit and draw it up towards that right shoulder. But again, this isn't how hard you can pull it up or intense you can make it. Just find a good place that you can rest in. And if you're going to take that leg long, which is fine, you can. If your hips and low back feel like it, make sure your feet are flexed so that you have energy moving through your all of your appendages. Feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we're just going to breathe here. 2 or 3 breaths. And for all intensive purposes, did I say that right? All intensive, is that right? All intensive purposes?
Intense and purpose.
All intents and purposes?
I believe.
All intents
I
and
think it's intense.
Intense.
Like
and purposes. This is fun. Bend that left knee again and place that left foot to the floor, and then go ahead and place your right leg down. That way we just leave that extra tension off of the sacrum, and we're not trying to release the leg while another leg is extended. Make sense? Okay. On your next exhale, bring that left knee into your chest. Good. Take it off of the rib cage a little bit, draw it up to your shoulder, and then go ahead if you'd like. You don't have to. Each side is different. We always talk about that. Your sides are not created equal. It might not feel good to take that leg long on this right side. So make sure that you're honoring both sides of your body. Easy breath. being really aware of feeling that stretch and that intensity in the certain areas of your body and trying to relax the other areas that you're not focused on in the moment. So trying to relax your shoulders as you exhale, trying to soften your glutes a little bit as you exhale. And then take one more breath. Okay, exhale all the way out, stay here. As you inhale, bend your right knee and bring your foot to the floor. And then let's go ahead and bring that left foot down to the floor. Good. Gently stretch your legs straight out in front of you. Take your arms up overhead, full body stretch. Good. Exhale and release your arms down to your sides. Walk your shoulder blades down your back. Good. Find a comfortable place for your arms. You might want to take them a little, we're not in Shavasana yet. Take your arms a little bit farther out. Go ahead and bend both knees, feet to the floor, and you can leave the backs of your hands. That's nice external rotation of the shoulders. And we're going to just take a very simple twist. So I want you to keep your feet down on the floor and just exhale and bring your knees over to the right. We're not stacking the legs. We're not stacking the feet. We're just trying to find a very gentle twist to really focus on that section of your body in between your ribs and your hips. So right in this section, especially in the back side, and that muscle kind of follows down into the glute. We just want to find a little bit of release or relief in that area. Do you feel like you can easily relax both shoulder blades to the earth?
Yeah.
Okay. And this doesn't feel too intense?
No,
Okay. Good. And let's just lay here. Take maybe 3 more breaths or so. Good. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and bring those legs to center and take it over to the left. Mind your way. Okay, so you're going to be tighter on one side than the other, which I can see with Jay. He's a lot tighter on this side. So what I would suggest is to take your feet and pull them back just a tiny bit. And that other one too. There.
Okay.
Better?
Yeah. It's easier.
Yeah. So that will give a lot more relief. So if you're feeling when you twist over to one side, if that side is really intense, if there's a lot of pull, then just take your feet and take them back towards the opposite side, I guess is the best way to put it. If your knees are to the left, take your feet a little bit more to the right. That'll help release some of this tension in that area. And then again, about 3 more breaths. Beautiful. And then inhale, bring it back to center. Good. And then you take your legs long in front of you again. And with Jay especially, he has extremely tight shoulders, and I know a lot of people do. So we're going to do banana pose, which you guys have done with me before, but tonight we're going to do a half of a banana. I think I'm so funny. I realize, when there's a camera, I realize, oh, I just really think I'm funny, like more than I think other people do. So your arms can stay where they are. They can even go a little bit higher up overhead, but you have to get them to the floor, okay? So instead of a full banana where arms are up overhead and you make your body in the shape of a banana, we're just going to do the lower half tonight. If you want to do the upper half, you absolutely can, and I will talk you through it once I get him into the pose. But for him, we're going to leave this just from the waist down. So I want you to start to walk your legs over to the right. Good. So, okay, stop right there for a second. So this is number 1. You can just stay right here. You really want both glutes planted to the earth. However, if you want a little bit more intensity, you can cross your left leg over your ankle to ankle, your left ankle over your right ankle. Is that a possible pose for you?
Mm-hmm.
Feels like something you can stay in.
Mm-hmm.
This is supposed to be a very passive pose. This shouldn't take any muscle work or strength to keep you in it. So if you feel like you're really struggling to keep that ankle crossed over, then come out of it. If you'd like to go further than what Jay's in, you're gonna take your arms up overhead, and you're just gonna find a slight shift of your upper body to the right also, making sure that both shoulder blades stay planted to the earth. So then you'll be in this nice little, it's a yin pose, a nice little yin banana shape. And then just allow your eyes to close and see if you can settle yourself into this pose. See if you get a little bit heavier. Your breath becomes a little bit quieter. And then you can make this very passive. See if you can release any tension in your jaw. Maybe you have some tension in your forehead. You can release the tension in your forehead. Allowing this pose to take care of that connective tissue, relax it, release it. Will you actually move out of this pose when I ask you to, or is this
I
it?
kinda like this one.
It's a pretty nice
Not gonna lie.
pose, yeah, it's a pretty nice pose. If you don't try to like make that banana shape as banana as possible, it's a great pose. You can really relax your nervous system, which we need so desperately right now. Nice, relaxed nervous
Speak for
system.
yourself.
Oh, yours is relaxed?
Totally chill.
Mhm, yep. So now you all know my husband's a liar. Okay, so we're gonna move nice and soft. I want you to just wiggle your toes and your fingers first. That's a really good sign to your body, like, hey, we're gonna move now, sorry. Then uncross, first, wait, Jay, sorry. If your upper body is over to the right, I want you to gently begin to move your upper body back first. Arms come down to your sides. Then you can uncross your ankles, and then gently begin to move yourself back to center. And then we're gonna stay just in a mini Shavasana for a couple of breaths. Give that sacrum time to reset itself. Give your spine some time to relax. And then I'm gonna move because I'm gonna be in a really awkward, uncomfortable place when you bring your legs over. And then take one more breath. All right, when you're ready, let's go ahead and begin to move to the left. So start to shift your legs first to the left. Okay, be careful because you're extra tight on this side, so back out of it just a tiny bit. Okay, now see about crossing that ankle if you'd like.
Okay, we're good.
And again, on this side, if crossing your ankle doesn't work, uncross it. It doesn't have to be the same on both sides. Make sure your glutes are planted, okay? You don't want very much rise. You have a little bit of rise on that right hip, so I ask if you just try to shift your right hip down just a teeny tiny bit. There you go, perfect. Good, and then again, if you want to take it into full pose, you're going to bring your arms up overhead. You can interlace thumbs or fingers or whatever you'd like, or not at all. And you're just going to slowly lift and shift those ribs and those shoulder blades to the left just a tiny bit. Make sure that you're on the back of your head and your shoulders are planted to the earth, and that you can allow yourself to become heavy and relax and breathe. And I want you to close your eyes and allow yourself this time to get heavy to the earth, to give all of your weight into the mat, and breathe. Softening the shoulders, the jaw. Can you bring your chin just a little bit closer to your chest? Find a little bit more length in your neck. Is that okay?
Mhm.
Okay, so trying to find a little bit of length through the back of the neck. The best way to do that is to bring your chin down to your chest and then a little bit more length. Easy breath, nice easy breath. And we'll take 3 more breaths right here. If your upper body has moved to the side, go ahead and gently begin to move it back. Take it nice and slow and easy, no rushing. Then gently release your right ankle off of your left and slowly begin to move everything back to center. Good. Let your sacrum find its neutral position. Relax the spine. Excellent. Beautiful. Let's take 2 breaths right here in your mini Shavasana. Good. And then on your next inhale, let's go ahead and bend those knees again. Bring your feet flat to the floor. Okay, make sure you shift and find your comfort level. And we're going to switch sides. So take a big breath in. And I always lead with the right, so I have to make sure to tell them I'm leading with the left. I want you to exhale and draw your left knee back into your chest. Again, then take it off of your rib cage a little bit. Ah, got a little more room there. Nice. Then would you like to take that right leg straight out? You can take the right leg straight out if you'd like. Good, flexing those feet. Excellent. Maybe this is a good time to point and flex the left foot, making sure that you're finding and keeping that mobility in your ankles and your low leg. Making sure that that knee is slightly off of your rib cage, drawing up towards your left shoulder a little bit, more so than smashing your ribs in right here. Then I'm going to ask you to do something you don't like, okay? Ready? Okay. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, I want you to gently draw your forehead towards your knee.
To the side.
Just kind of draw it up. Good. And then slowly release. Good. Bend that right knee. Bring your right foot to the floor. Take your left foot to the floor. Awesome. Take a big breath in. Exhale all the way out. Draw that right knee up. And again, avoid your ribs. Take it up towards your right shoulder. Find that space in your body. Don't push yourself to any extreme. And then if you feel like you can, you're going to take your left leg long. Both feet are flexed. Feel free to point and flex that right ankle if you'd like. Good. Couple more. Inhale. And then exhale. I want you to prepare. Draw that forehead towards your knee. Can be skipped at any point. And then inhale, bring it down. Bend your left knee. Bring your left foot to the floor. And bring your right foot to the floor. Good. See if you can bring your chin just a little bit closer to your chest. Lengthen through the back of your neck. And then we're going to inhale. You're going to take your arms up to the ceiling, up overhead as far as they'll go. No pushing. This is gentle. Good. And then you're going to bring them back down to your side. I'd like you to repeat that maybe 5 more times, 6 more times.
Inhale up.
Inhale up. Yep. Anytime that body kind of moves, or the arms move away from the body as you inhale, as you're bringing your arms back down, I want you to exhale. Good. And again, inhale. And exhale. I don't know how many we're at, but let's do 2 more. That's always my answer. 2 more. 2 more. And last one. Hold it overhead for just a pause. And then exhale, release them down to your sides. Excellent. Go ahead and release your hands down to the mat. Walk your shoulder blades underneath you a little bit. And let's go ahead and bring the palms to the floor. Okay, shoulders, kind of draw them together and down your back. And we're going to take a nice inhale, and you're going to raise up into a very gentle bridge. Okay, so you're going to push your feet into the floor. Inhale, gently lift your hips. And then let's just stop right there. That looks good. And then exhale, lower down. As you exhale and lower down, I want you to try to lengthen through your spine. Glutes come down. Okay? Good. That looks good. And again, inhale, lift up. Notice how he shifted his feet. Feel free to move and change your posture at any time. And again, lengthen and exhale that spine all the way down. Good. Let's take that exact same way 2 more times. Feeling okay?
Mhm.
Okay. Good. Lengthen. Good. So pause there for me for just 1 second.
On the down or right here?
You can release yourself all the way down. When you come up, be cautious because he's coming up a little high right now for his neck. And if you'll notice, not picking on you, it's just good pointers for people. When you're lifting, what is happening is you're lifting your chest or your chin up out of the way. And then that's compressing your neck. So what I want you to do is only come up into your bridge as high as you can keep your neck long. Does that make sense? Or maybe even draw your chin down a little bit towards your chest. Yeah. You feel the difference in that?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and exhale and release. Okay, and then 1 more time. So this gives me the opportunity for you guys to be able to see and me to explain a little bit. Stay right there for me if you can.
Mhm.
A lot of times I will give the cue to bring, as you lower, move your glutes towards your heels. And people, it's kind of hard to understand. It's kind of a funky cue. So this is what I want when I say this. So when you come down, you're going to try to come down 1 vertebra at a time. But you're not going to move your feet. The entire time, however, you're going to take your glutes and lengthen them to your heels. You won't do it, but it's like you're trying to touch your heels with your glutes. Can you feel that lengthening of that spine? Does that make sense? Hopefully. We'll do it 1 more time so you can see. So if you want to stop and actually see what we're doing and then come back to it, you absolutely can. Okay, go ahead and inhale and come up. I'm going to come around to the front of you. Hopefully this will work. Maybe I don't know where to go. Oh my gosh. Okay, so as he comes down, he's going to take his glutes. His feet are never going to move, but he's going to take his glutes, and by reaching his glutes to his heels, that is going to find length automatically in his spine and give each vertebra the opportunity to release down one after the other, and then the low back touches and then the sacrum, right? Does that feel okay?
Yeah, feels good.
Can you do 1 more?
Sure.
Okay. It's hard because you're all in black, so it's kind of hard to piece together. Hopefully you guys can kind of see it. Yeah, so even if you notice, this lengthens already as he lowers all the way down. And look at that, how it slants. Nice job. High five. Good. All right, then go ahead and slowly take your legs out in front of you and a full body stretch. All those feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Good, and then as you exhale, go ahead and hug both knees into your chest and wrap your hands around your shins. Beautiful, take 1 more big deep breath here. Awesome. Now we're going to go into a little bit deeper twist. You can put your feet back on the floor and do it the way we did it, or you can take your left arm out to the side. And I kind of use this like as my carrier hand. You can take those knees over to the right, carrying them over with that right hand. Then what I will do is I will take my right hand and I kind of hook it into the back of my knee and use that hand as weight. Okay? Is that too intense?
A little bit.
Okay, so then go ahead and release it. All right. Can you release your feet to the floor?
What do you mean?
Like, yeah, they were kind of hovering just
Oh.
a second ago. Okay, how does that feel overall? Does it feel like something you can hold for 3 or 4 breaths, or is it too much?
I think I'll be able to settle into it over breaths, yeah.
Okay, maybe more than 3 breaths?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you're in the same place as Jay, maybe it's best to back out of it a little bit. Like we were talking about earlier, will you just do this for me?
Mhm.
If you were just to pull your feet back a little bit,
Okay.
it helps, right?
Yeah.
So if you pull those feet back just a little bit, it will help you settle into that twist a little bit better. And this is something that I'm really passionate about when it comes to yoga. You need to find the way that the pose is going to work for your body to make you feel the best version of you. You don't have to do it the way it's prescribed or the way you've seen it in magazines or books. What's most important is that you do it for the way it resonates with your body and your breath. So those little adjustments make all the difference. Okay. So now that I've kind of talked a lot and I didn't have you focus on anything, I'd like you just for these last 2 breaths to leave your legs where they are because they look great, and just spend your focus on that shoulder. Kind of exhaling that left shoulder a little bit heavier. It doesn't have to be pushed down to the mat. You're just finding that weight in that shoulder. Good. Beautiful. And then there's 2 ways to come out of this. Well, there's probably more than that, but you can keep your feet on the floor and just lift your knees back up, or you can hug your knees a little bit more intensely into your body, keep your feet hovering, and pull yourself back to center. Good. Take a moment, hug your knees in. I'm going to nitpick on you tonight. Bring that chin a little bit closer to your chest, find some length in your neck, and then take your right arm out to the side. And let's go ahead, carry your hand, brings those knees over. Being very aware. I like how slow he's moving. I'm hoping you're moving that slow too. Tonight is all about really being kind to ourselves, finding that space and calming our nervous system down. Okay, do you like the placement of your feet? Okay. You can soften that right arm a little bit. You don't have to reach so intensely for this class. Good. Left hand placed on top of the leg. A little bit of weight. Also helps with a little bit of stability. Make sure you can breathe. That's always a telltale sign of a pose. You want to be able to breathe in it. And again, bring your chin just a little bit closer to your chest. Sorry. Really want you guys to focus on the length of your neck too, finding that space from your upper back to your skull. Breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. Focusing on the inside. These last couple of breaths, I don't want you to try to actively push that shoulder blade to the floor, but just with each exhale, it becomes a little bit heavier and a little bit heavier. Good, and then last breath. Beautiful. Okay, on your next inhale, go ahead and bring those knees back to center, however it works best for you. Hug them into your chest one more time. Inhale in. Exhale, bring your forehead towards your knees. Beautiful. And then slowly release. And then I'm going to have you gently roll yourself over onto your right side. And you're just going to press yourself up into a comfortable seat. So I'm not sure how that's going to feel for you. Crossing your legs, does that work? Legs out in front of you. What's going to be the best for your body?
For me, it's best in front.
Best in front.
You want me to cross? Okay.
I don't. So at home, if you're having a really hard time sitting flat on the floor, which can be really challenging, grab a pillow or something. If you have blocks at home, grab some blocks, and I'm going to have you, do you feel comfortable using my blocks? Okay, I'm going to have you sit on a couple blocks. I got to bring your bag. Thank you, though. Okay, so you can go ahead and just place those underneath you. And especially for men, you have narrower hips. You are not built to sit in a cross-legged seated position. You need your legs right underneath you for that strength. So it helps, to get that height underneath you, okay? Good, that feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you inhale, You're gonna find lift in your torso. As you exhale, you're gonna let yourself drop down into your pelvis. Yeah, so simple move, but big impact. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop down. And then one more time, just like this. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop down. Okay, now we're gonna add the arms to it. So we're gonna inhale, I'm gonna move so I don't get a black eye. You're gonna inhale, arms up. Lift up out of your pelvis. Exhale, drop down into your pelvis. Good. 3 more, just like that. Inhaling, arms up, lifting up out of your pelvis. Exhale, dropping down, letting yourself sink into your pelvis. Inhale. Good. And exhale. This time, go ahead and let your fingers come down to the floor. Keep your right fingertips on the mat. And inhale that left arm up. And maybe for this first one, you just reach gently up. And then let's go ahead and exhale that left hand down. And we'll inhale the right arm up. And again, just up. You don't have to lean over. You don't ever have to lean over if you don't want. Exhale down. Good. So let's continue. I want you to just keep trying to move a little bit into a side bend, okay, but only if it works for your body, okay? But you're just going to keep alternating from side to side, and I want you to really work with your breath. So on your inhale, that raises your arm up to the ceiling, maybe takes you into a bit of a side bend. As you exhale, you find your way back to center and release your arm to the floor. Good. Good. Better movement. Awesome. You doing okay sitting on those blocks?
Yep.
Okay, one more to each side. And last one. This time when you raise that right arm or left arm, whichever arm you're on, up to the ceiling, take a gentle side bend. Keep that right arm lifted. Bring yourself back to center. Take your left arm up to meet it. See if you can bring your palms together. Exhale down to heart center, and this might not work for you or anybody, but we'll try it. I want you to just gently begin to release your hands in the direction of the floor, and maybe take a very easy seated forward fold. So real quick, since I have a model, I love having a model, this is awesome. So bring yourself back a little bit. When you come into a seated forward fold, one of the things that I want you to focus on first and foremost is a neutral spine. This is the hardest thing to do because we all want to just fold over. So when you're first folding, you want to think of this, your chest lifting. So you're coming out of it quite a bit. You're going to take a big breath in. Now, as you exhale, see if you can keep that neutral spine as you walk your hands out. See the difference right there? Chin a little bit closer to that chest. Okay? Now, I would say, is that kind of at your end, your capacity? So if you're at your capacity, other people's capacities are going to be very different. Your head might be here and still have a nice neutral spine. We're all very different in our flexibility. But with Jay, what he's going to do now is take another big deep breath in, and here you can allow your back to curve and your head to drop. It will change where the stretch is coming from, but that's okay. That's why we do both ways. And just take one more breath right here. I promise I'll get you out of it. Good. And then you're just going to gently inhale and come back up. Nice and slow. Good. You okay? Okay. So I'm going to have you come off of the blocks, and you're going to come onto all fours on the mat.
Facing that way?
However, whatever way you want. Doesn't matter. I'll take the blocks out of the way. Okay. So onto all fours. If you need extra blanket for your knees, grab extra blanket for your knees. Okay? Do you need a blanket for your knees?
I'm good.
No? Okay. So at first I want you to just take yourself into a nice tabletop position. Your back is neutral, belly's drawn in just a little bit, those shoulders are strong, and look at how you got that nice neutral spine, that nice natural curve. You got the curve of the neck, and then you got the upper back, and then down into the lumbar. I want you to just feel that neutral spine for just a moment before we start to move. Notice where it's at, notice how it feels, notice the tight spots along the way. And then take one more big deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to start with the tailbone. So I want you to take that tailbone, drop it to the floor, begin to round through your spine, press up into the ceiling, press that floor away from you, drop your head, take it to cat pose. Okay, and again, start with your tailbone. As you inhale, you're going to begin to lift your tailbone, your low back sways, all the way up through the crown of the head. This is gorgeous. You have beautiful cat-cow poses. Shoulders drawn away from the ears. Gorgeous. Go ahead and exhale to cat again. And I'd like you to move through about 5 rounds. So that's going to be 10 total. 5 cats and 5 cows. Good. And really notice that wave-like action that happens through the spine. That's what we're looking for, is to move that spine and get that beautiful fluid motion happening in the body. Excellent. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Is that 5?
Yeah, I think 3.
Oh, okay. 2 more. Ah, 2 more. Yay. It's always 2 more. Good. 1 more. Again, remember, we're keeping this practice very simple for this first time. Simple does not mean it doesn't feel amazing when you're done with it. It just means we're keeping it just easy and basic for our bodies. Good. That's got to be 5, right?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Bring it back to that neutral spine. Good. Big breath in right here. Don't really move. Just breathe in. That's good. Exhale all the way out. Good. Then we're going to inhale, and I want you to take your right arm, and don't bring it up to the ceiling. Just take it straight out to the side, parallel to the floor. And then we're going to thread the needle. So you're going to exhale and take that right arm all the way under, coming down onto the shoulder and the side of the head. You can do anything you want with that left arm. You can rest it on the floor like Jay has it right now. I'm going to use you like a little wood doll, okay? You can, no, you're good right there. You can plant your hand to the mat, bend your left elbow, and maybe stack your shoulders a little bit on top of each other. Or, and this one might be a little intense, but it's totally up to you. You're going to take this arm, you knew what, you knew where I was going, did you? And then you're going to draw, yep. So that's what 15 years of marriage looks like right there, huh? I don't have to say anything. I need to say stuff for them.
Okay, good. Follow cues.
You want to take that right shoulder blade and draw it back. Whatever feels the most comfortable. Good. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and release your left hand to the floor and inhale, push yourself away from the floor, and I want you to just set your right arm straight down to the mat. Don't lift it up. We'll get to that. Okay, take your left arm and bring it out to the side. Good, so just straight out to the side, and then exhale, dive under through that right side all the way down. Love that this is a whole nother view here. So let's go over those arms one more time. So you can rest it down right next to your head. You can flatten your hand, lift this elbow, and stack those shoulders. Or you can take that right arm, rest it on the small of your back. I want you to draw that shoulder open.
Too tight for this side.
Yeah. Okay, so there's going to be sides that's just not going to work. Maybe both sides that won't work. But for those that have very flexible shoulders, that might be a nice feeling for you. Okay? Good. Take one more breath. And then you're going to actively press down with your right hand, push against the floor to inhale yourself back up to all fours. Good. Feeling okay in those shoulders? Okay. We're going to take another, we're going to take another threaded needle. This time we're going to change it up just a little bit. So now I want you to inhale that right arm up to the ceiling if you can. And then exhale and dive it through. And again, these are all suggestions, not requirements. Remember that from me. You can take, I want you just for them, take your left arm and walk it straight up to the front of your mat. Okay, so then you can, here's the other option, is to take that left arm straight up. So one of the things we're working on with this threaded needle pose is to open up through the backs of the shoulders. And that, see if you can notice from right here, he's got a heck of a twist in his upper back. So if, and I'm not saying you need to, I'm just offering, if he could draw his shoulder underneath him a little bit more, look at how much more space that creates and that twist. So the guide for you is how far under and how much you can lay on your shoulder. That's going to show you how much you can open up through those shoulder blades. Go ahead, take one more big deep breath here if you can, or semi-deep breath. Good. Inhale, slide your left hand back, plant it to the floor, and gently press yourself up nice and slow, and release your right hand directly to the mat. Good. So we're not going to take that arm back up again. Sometimes I feel like that's just overstretching, and so tonight we're just going to set it back to the floor, or today, or whenever you're watching it. All right, left arm, go ahead and reach it up. Good. Exhale, take it underneath you. And I know that this side is a lot tighter, so if you don't feel like you can bring that arm to the front of your mat, please don't. Okay. Does that feel safe to you?
Yeah,
Okay,
I just can't get my left shoulder under as far.
that's fine. I just want to make sure that I want to make sure always for everybody that you feel safe in every pose that you do with me. That is my number one concern, is that you have safety in your poses. So just real quick, that sacrum, beautifully neutral. Okay, there's no weird torque or twist happening here in his pelvis. This is all neutral. Even that lower lumbar is nice and neutral. He still has just a little tiny bit of a curve. And then right at that mid back is when that twist happens in that upper spine. Taking one more big deep breath. Excellent. Inhale, slide that right hand back, and gently press yourself back up. Good. Walk your knees forward just a tiny bit for me, and I don't know which child's pose is going to work best for you. I'm having you go to a child's pose, so I'm going to have you just show both. First child's pose is both knees underneath you, and pressing your glutes back to your heels. Okay? Now, if you notice, I love this. A lot of times we have to choose. Do you want my butt down or do you want my head down? Which one is it? Okay? Sometimes it can be both. Sometimes you take and you rest your glutes down for a few moments. You take a couple of breaths here, and then go ahead and bring your head down. And then you bring your head down. So go ahead and lift your butt until your head comes to the floor. Okay? So Jay's lucky. He doesn't have to have much lift. My glutes go a little bit higher when I have to get my head down to the floor. So do me a favor and let's just show.
Mhm.
Lift your glutes a little bit higher for me. A little bit more. Great child's pose. Awesome child's pose, okay? These glutes do not have to melt into your heels for a child's pose. This gives you stretch in your knees, your quads, your low back, mid back. Beautiful child's pose, okay? Go ahead and inhale and come up out of your child's pose for a moment. Take your big toes together and spread your knees wide. And again, exhale, press your glutes back to your heels. And then gently lower yourself to the floor if you feel like you can. So sometimes a more comfortable pose for us. It's a good stretch of the inner thighs, good stretch of the outer glutes, sides of the body. So maybe you do both. Okay, let's go ahead, all of us. Inhale, come up again one more time. Walk your knees together and press back to a child's pose one more time. Let yourself settle into it. If this is not the right child's pose for you, go ahead and take another moment to take your knees apart, big toes touching, and we'll find our breath. See if you can soften in your pose. This is a great pose to just kind of let everything drop off. Even if it's just for a very brief moment, let everything drop off. Let yourself be soft. Let the mat catch all of your worries from your forehead. And then last breath. Good. And then ever so slowly, begin to inhale and come up to all fours, finding yourself back in your tabletop. Make sure you're comfortable. All right, so all we're gonna do is just kind of stretch those arms. So when you reach your arms out in front of you, let's see if we can get that thumb to point up to the ceiling. So we're not gonna do any balancing table or any of that stuff tonight, but I want you to take your right arm and just reach it straight out in front of you, seeing how close you can bring your bicep to your ear. Then as you exhale, pull your elbow back into your body and plant your hand down to the floor. That looks really good. Good, take that left arm, bring it straight out in front of you. See if you can get your bicep to your ear, not your ear to your bicep. And then exhale, hug your elbow into your body and set your hand to the floor. Good, let's take it to the other side. Inhale, right arm reaches out in front of you. Exhale, elbow pulls in, hand releases to the mat. Inhale, left arm out in front of you. Exhale, elbow pulls in, release your left hand to the mat. 2 more to each side. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, pull it in and release it down. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, pull it in and release it down. Last one, right arm. Exhale. Gorgeous. Last one.
I don't think I've ever been called gorgeous and beautiful in my life.
I say that a lot. I mean it. Does that help? I
Yeah,
actually
thanks.
really mean it. All right, now you're going to take that right leg. You're going to reach it back behind you, parallel to the earth. Good. See how the toes are down. Go ahead and set your toes down on the mat, toes curled under, press through your heel, and then gently exhale and release it back to center. Can you just bend the knee and bring it back, or will that not
Back
work
to
for
here.
you? Yeah, is
Yeah,
that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, now take your left leg, reach it straight back behind you. Good. Exhale, toes to the earth, press back through your heel, and gently bring your knee back underneath you. Good. 1 more to each side. Right leg goes out. Awesome. Toes come down, reach through your heel, exhale, release. And last time, left leg. Good. Toes come down, stretch through your heel. Awesome. And exhale and release. Beautiful. Does that feel okay?
Yeah, feels good.
Good. Okay, we're going to do 1 more shoulder stretch. I'm hoping that Jay can do this one. We'll see. All right, you're going to lay flat on your belly. Yeah, you want me to do this one? You can lead it? No, it's good. It's good for people to understand, like, you know, I'm Gumby. Gumby's not flexible. I don't understand the whole Gumby thing. All right, you ready? Here we go. Right arm goes out, so you're laying flat on your belly. Right arm goes out to the side. You know what's coming, don't you? Plant your left hand to the floor, and I want you to roll yourself towards that outstretched arm. Gentle. Okay. Can you get your head to the floor? Yes? Okay. Head to the floor, and then bend your knees and bring your knees towards your belly button. All right. So, maybe I should be the model for this one. Are you flexible?
Why don't you just do it? Because I know I can't do this.
Okay, let me have
I
Buster
know
do
you
it.
want to do.
Okay, we're gonna switch. We're gonna switch models for just a second. Hold on. Jay, go ahead and, sorry, tap out. Okay,
Tap out.
Weston, come here.
Shoulders are done.
All right, go ahead and lay on your belly. This is great. All these models in my fingertips. All right, left, take your right arm out to the side, okay? So now remember, this is a 14-year-old body, all right? I'm just using him so you can understand each step along the way, not necessarily something you need to do. 14-year-old body, very different. All right, plant that left hand. That was funny, right? Funny. Roll over onto your side. Bend your knees and bring your feet to the floor. Okay, so option, I'm sorry, not yet. I'm way ahead of myself. So bring your knees towards your belly button. All right, so I want you to take this arm and walk it up just a little bit. Right there is perfect. Okay, so here's option number 1. If this is it for you, stay right where you're at. Option number 2 is to take this top leg. You're going to point your knee up to the ceiling and you're going to set your foot back behind your right foot. Okay? That might be good for everybody. You might be done there. If you're not, if you're extra flexible, you're gonna lift the bottom knee and point it up to the ceiling. And look at those beautiful, dirty little feet. Your feet are gonna stack right next to each other. Okay, and I'm just taking you all the way through. Again, please remember, not a requirement. Last but not least is to take this top arm and bring it over towards that other arm. Wow. Nice job. Okay, so this is like the end result. This is not a requirement, but just so you know.
Now you're a pretzel.
Now, yes, now you are a pretzel. Salt and cheese, please. Okay, ready? We're gonna slowly come out of it piece by piece by piece. So your left arm's gonna come down first. Left leg, that's your right leg. Right leg, left leg. Go ahead and slowly roll over onto your belly. And then let's take it to the other side. Left arm goes out. Okay, roll it over. So do you feel like you're as flexible on this side as the other side?
Yeah.
Okay, so same thing. That left arm is coming straight out of his shoulder. Settle down, opening those chest muscles. You can stay right here. This is perfect. Or you can take and point your right knee and plant your foot to the floor. If this is not enough, take your left knee and bring it next to your right knee. If this is not enough, take your right arm and bring it back behind you. A little less flexible on this side, huh?
Yeah. That's my shoulder blades.
So you can have this right here, or you can take your hand onto your side. Yeah, and drop this elbow down. There you go. Good. Awesome. And just take a couple of breaths right here. Can you pull this knee in a little bit more? Good. Is my knee in your way?
Mhm.
Okay. And then ever so slowly, we're going to start to come out of it. Right arm gently comes to the floor. Move gently. Left leg comes down. Right leg comes down. And then roll yourself back onto your belly. Bring your arms down by your sides. And give yourself just a couple of breaths right here. Jay, I feel like it's unfair if you don't get a Shavasana at the end.
Shavasana over here.
How am I doing on time? What's the time?
Just look at the phone.
29.
Oh.
You're done.
We're done. See? I told you I can always go longer and longer and longer. And now having a video there, I can just, the time, I can do whatever I want.
No, I
No,
don't
I can't. All right. Okay, so go ahead, take a big breath in. Exhale all the way out. Bring your hands up to your shoulders on the mat and very gently begin to peel yourself off. Press back to your child's pose one more time. Nice, easy peel. Good. Tops of the feet to the mat. One more stretch. Beautiful. Big deep breath in. Exhale all the way out. Good. Inhale, come up to all fours. Beautiful. Walk those knees forward. Go ahead and come onto your glutes. So kind of take your legs out from underneath you. That way works. Don't do that at home. Just don't. Don't even do that in the studio. I'm just kidding. Okay, go ahead and lay on your back. Scoot yourself down a little bit. Good. Take your legs long. Inhale, arms up overhead. One more full body stretch. Good. Exhale, gently hug your knees back into your chest one more time. Good. Maybe take a little bit of rock side to side. And if there's anything left for you, if you need another twist or happy baby, take the time to do it. And then bring yourself back to center. Slowly begin to release your feet to the floor. Take your legs long. Good. Let's take one hand on our low belly and one hand into our heart center. Take a big deep breath in. And tonight, during Shavasana, or today or this morning or afternoon, whenever you're watching this, in your head, I want you to slowly begin to list all of the things that you're grateful for. All of them. Your friends, your family, your car, your house. And think of the big things. And just go ahead and start listing them to yourself. If you start running out of things, I want you to think about smaller things. The flowers that you saw, the way the sun hit Mount Rainier, the smell on the breeze, the way two people looked at each other and made you smile. Anything that made your heart grow a little bit, find that gratitude. And then I'd also like to challenge you. And I'd like you to find a couple of things that you deem as a negative and see if you can figure out a way to be grateful for it. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of negative that we can focus on. But how can we be grateful for those things? How can we find that gratitude? Let me take one more big deep breath. Breathe in all the good. Exhale, let anything that does not serve you any longer, let it go. Even again, if it's just for that moment, let it go. And then start to wiggle your toes, move your fingers. And gently roll yourself over onto your right side, taking a moment in the fetal position, drawing your knees to your belly, resting your head on your arm. Slowly beginning to open your eyes. And using those arms, gently begin to press yourself up into a comfortable seat. Good. Inhaling, arms up to the ceiling. You just tried to cut my face out of that, didn't you? Palms together to heart center. I cannot tell you how grateful that I can come to you virtually and still get to teach you yoga during these uncertain times. I am there for you. My prayers and my energy are with you. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Boom. Thanks.